Hey, good morning, guys. Joel Parker checking in from the Dominican Republic. I'm here on assignment working on a story for Nations Media, and I'm getting just the lay of the land with COVID and the church. And yesterday I met with some school teachers who are dealing with 50% dropout. And the unfortunate thing is that many of the kids who do drop out, it's due to their inability to pay for internet. They don't have devices to do school from home, and so it's something to be praying for our brothers and sisters here in the Dominican Republic. But hey, this morning we find ourselves in Psalm 34. And in Psalm 34, we see David here is on the run. King Saul has driven him from the country. He's now in the land of the Philistines. He goes before Abimelech, the sovereign leader, and he pretends to be crazy because they know who David is, and they assume that he's a spy or he's up to something. So he acts crazy. He loses his mind and he narrowly escapes. And we find ourselves here with a psalm that would seem fitting to be on a plaque in our kitchen. And it says this: I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be on my lips. And so when we put it in context, we see that he's been on the run. He's faked that he's lost his mind, and he's finally released. And this is the first thing out of his mind: I will bless the Lord at all times. Have you ever made a deal with God after narrowly escaping the sword or narrowly escaping being grounded? Yeah, it's very normative, but what I love about the Psalms is it continues and it directs his attention right back to who God is. In verse 4, it says that he acknowledges that God is the God who hears us. It's also a God who saves us, verse 4. Verse 7, he's a God who preserves us. Verse 15, he is interested in us. This God of the universe is interested in us. Verse 18 declares that he is near to us. Verse 18 also, it says again that he saves us. What an incredible reminder. And then lastly, in verse 22, it declares that he redeems us. And so he makes this bold statement: I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be on my lips. And then he fixes his attention to who God is. One of my all-time favorite missionaries is a guy by the name of Frank Laubach. And Frank was a missionary to the Philippines about 100 years ago. And when he first showed up, he was ministering to the Moro people. These were a Muslim people, and he felt like he was failing miserably. And he was so discouraged, felt like nothing good was happening. And he said that he would even go days without even acknowledging God in the presence. He was just so focused on his depravity and his failures. And so he developed this thing called the game of minutes. And he was just like, if I could just get to a point where I would acknowledge God for 1 second every minute, that would change everything. And he goes on this journey and he finds himself to where he's actually in a place where he's acknowledging God constantly throughout the day. And it was so cool to read and to hear about how that was so transformative in his mission, and how it really became a thing where he would find deep intimacy with God, praising God, acknowledging God's presence. And out of that, the inroads started to happen. The gospel was proclaimed, these people were changed, and the fruit of that is still evident today. And so I can't help but wonder, what if today you and I could just pull away just a couple times even, and just declare this: that I will bless the Lord at all times. I will bless him. I will acknowledge him, and his praise shall continually be on my lips. Okay, so maybe that's not 100% true. Maybe not continually, but what if a little more than yesterday? And what if tomorrow a little more than today? I think that could be transformative in our lives, just like it was in Frank's life in the Philippines, just like it was in David's life when he narrowly escaped the sword. Just to acknowledge God is the beginning of something transformative that God wants to do in your life and my life today. So the question is, will we let him? I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be on my lips. I hope you guys have an incredible day. Would you please keep the people in the Dominican Republic in your prayers today? Would you please pray for the church here as they are just dealing with COVID? It's devastating to the and they're asking for prayers. And so God bless you guys. We'll see you soon.